Greetings, dear ones. Happy Friday, the 8th of April. And this is, as those of you who know of, listened to any of my work or have worked with me individually, know that everything is very much in the moment. There is oftentimes, particularly with the Friday Ancient Future Wisdom episodes, there are themes that are running through the week that lead up to our Friday gathering. Excuse me. And there are also certain helpers that come forth. And as I was preparing this week for today's episode, I had a very specific focus was being shown to me, a lot of different helpers. And as of this morning, I was told to completely switch things around. And we're going to be focusing on talking about this upcoming conjunction. Right off the bat, I want to tell you that I changed everything around in my schedule to be able to open up an event for Monday evening. Excuse me, preparing for the 12th as we lead into this conjunction. This is so powerful. I refer to it in the title of this talk as the sacred wave of the new way. And it is a big wave of energy coming. So I really want to encourage you to set up some framework for yourself and some energetics. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be dropping very deeply inside. And we're going to be preparing you for some of these upcoming energetics and with specific actions you can take as well. But I do suggest that you join me on Monday evening, because that's when the wave is really almost peaking and going to rush through us. Excuse me. And the ancients, the Intergalactic Council of that I've been working with for 20 something years, has advised me that it is an ideal time to set up what you want for the future. And as you've heard me speak about the upcoming program, the personal and planetary redesign, this is perfect timing for this to occur. You have an opportunity to redesign not only your life, but redesign your relationship with yourself, with the earth, with aspects of nature. There's just a beautiful and powerful wave coming through. And so the more of us that align with the potential of this wave and make our choice or our vote for the direction that we choose for ourselves and for the planet, the more that is going to manifest. And we have the potential, of course, as always, in this dualistic universe and in this Earth project where we have studied and played with and explored a particular aspect of duality, such as it has been for the past hundreds of thousands of years, couple 100,000 years. We're in the point of decision, and we've been at that point for a long time. And many of you who I've spoken to are very aware of being on that knife edge. And as well, I've spoken about that we've moved from a knife edge to a razor's edge. So it is a very thin line between continuing on in the old way of this planet and this species, which pretty much just leads to destruction, as the final playing out of that exploration, or as I and so many teachers have been speaking about for years, that we have been on a soul level making a different choice. We have chosen, for the most part, evolution. And it's not just a question of evolution at some point in the future. This is an extremely accelerated, very, very short period in which we're making drastic change to human nature. And as such, really coming to make those hard choices. And there's the thing, is that we can say we want a new earth and we want things to be different, and we don't want there to be war, and we don't want there to be the disparities between races or gender or financial finances. But there's actions that have to be taken. And at this point in time, those actions look insurmountable, impossible. We can all be feeling, what can I, one small person in this big plan, do? But when you drop in very, very deeply to your inner verse, to your internal world, to your innate, then you are making, it's almost as if your vote counts for thousands of votes. When we're doing so from a mental place or from a physical, effortful, active place, like, like I'm going to take such and such an action, it's wonderful, it's effective, but it's going to be a very, very slow process of evolution. So when you are more inner connected, then you are voting from more of you. And I use the term voting because it is a choice. And a vote means that you have to actually take a step and make that choice, which hopefully everybody does in this country at voting time. But this is a soul vote. And while we did send out a soul vote 20 something years ago, there were different conjunctions, there were different points when we were offered the opportunity to do so. Now at this point, more than ever, more of the planet, more people on the planet are truly wanting that change, and or seeing the potential for it, or seeing the potential if we don't make that choice. So this, you really, really, really do matter. You hear me say that all the time. Your presence, your physical, emotional, spiritual, and energetic presencing of yourself is what makes that change, is what evolves this planet. Those of you who have worked with me one-on-one know that we go into the profundity of your being, to the very root cause of some of those challenges that are presenting in your everyday life. And while that transmutation of the, let's just call it the wounding experience, leads you to have the highest expression of that aspect of humanness, also we are tapping into a patterning, a framework, a blueprint that underlies what's physically being manifest here. So, as I said, the more you have of yourself, it's almost like the more your vote counts. It has a wider impact. It has a more powerful impact. We see that with people that are in the public eye, when they make a statement, when they take a choice, when they do something, it almost sets up the possibility of others following, or it does set up the possibility of others following that. So their choice, their action, their behavior, their words have more impact because they are more visible to more people. In an individual case, and those of you who are on a spiritual path, when you go deeper and more internally, your words manifest, your wishes, your desires, your visions of what this world can be has a deeper and more profound impact in that blueprint, in that framework, because you are aware of what you're choosing. You are aware of yourself. You are aware of that potential. You are aware of, and not just on a cognitive basis, because while that's wonderful, it doesn't really go very far, and it doesn't really change those blueprints. But when you are able to make those choices and that vote from a very internal place, then you are actually rewriting, redesigning, creating this world. So I encourage you to seek out those ways that will allow you into the emotions, because that's where the energy is, that's where the power is, that's where the fire is to be able to make this change. And we're coming into a conjunction of Neptune, Jupiter in Pisces. Now, I'm not an astrologer. I do listen to several different voices of astrology, and I am very, very connected through the Intergalactic Council of the Ancients, as well as just on a personal basis. I've been working intergalactically and universally for quite some time, and have really been aware that there is a direct interchange of information and energetics between us, the Earth, and the galaxy, and between us and the intergalactic, which is our supercluster of galaxies, as well as what's going on this planet having a universal effect, and vice versa. And this planet is so very special, and humans are so very, very special because of the spectrum of experiences that we can have, the spectrum of feelings, emotional feelings, sensory feelings, the wide range of offerings that are on this planet in nature, in temperature, in the elements, the variety, the diversity. And yet, through it all, there is this oneness, this of the same basic chemical components. And we are interconnected and interrelated and interdependent with everything on this planet. And when we dismiss one thing or one person or one group over another, then we are maintaining that separation. Even when we, I want to keep my thoughts positive. I want to stay at a very high vibration. I want to just stay in the light. You're actually creating more separation. Anytime you reject parts of what make up this experience, that's perpetuating separation. It's maintaining the duality. Now, we will always have duality because that's the theme of this universe. And certainly that's the theme of this planet. But we are attempting to evolve this experience to a higher level of humanity and our relationship with all that is here. And that means changing human nature. That which is said cannot be changed. I have found with my work with individuals, my work with groups, that that is truly not so. And that is what's going on. We have first and second chakra related aspects of humanity that we have been exhibiting, experiencing, exploring for all these many millennia, such as constant threat to our lives. That was certainly throughout history for the most part, except for short periods of time. The threat was always there, particularly if you were not of a certain group or class or financial status or position. The idea that life is cheap, the idea that because you are different, I can take from you everything, including your life. And that is being blatantly shown in what's going on in Ukraine. But it happens every single day, not only in many other countries around the world, but in our own homes, where children's lives are less than an adult life, and their dignity, their rights, their ability to have to play a part in their family, this world. Oh, it's just a child, they'll get over it. They don't really feel that, they don't know what's going on. This is the same dismissal, is the dismissal of the dignity and significance of another person, whether it's race or gender or religion. And that dismissiveness, that diminishment, that discarding, disregard, disrespect. These are aspects of our first and second chakra, psychospiritual and energetic makeup of human nature. And those are the things we're changing. We cannot move to a future with the incredible technologies that are available to us even at this point and still be afraid to go to a concert or step outside and be gunned down. It just cannot happen. We cannot move into a future where there's the possibility of encountering beings from other planets if we are destroying our own, that which allows us to live each day. These are very, very basic, existential, power-related, sexually related issues that have to be evolved for us to move forward. And rather than it taking hundreds of years, this is happening in what my estimate has always been is a generation to 2 generations. So in the next 20 years, 20 to 30 years, this entire planet will be different if we so choose. And you play a large part in that. Every person that is seeking to be more than what they are at this moment. Every person that wants to be more sensitive, more conscious, more aware. And that's why the work that I do with individuals on a one-on-one basis is extremely accelerated. What happens in 3 months is life-changing. What happens in 6 months is the blossoming and becoming of who you have suspected yourself to be for possibly decades. And that level of transmutation or metamorphosis allows for this underlying blueprint, framework, energetic lattice, universal intelligence web, however you want to look at it or call it. When you go deep, you deeply affect those levels. And what's coming up on Tuesday, this conjunction of Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces, is a very, very powerful wave of both spiritual and emotional potential. Pisces is a water sign, and those of you who have been listening to these episodes know that for the past several weeks we've been working with the element of water. It's been very, very present. We had International Water Day not too long ago, and that's very fluid. That means that there is a lot of potential movement. As I explained it a little while ago, this is a sacred wave. And today, Friday the 8th, we're beginning that wave. It's almost like if you're at the shore, oh my goodness, I've become New Jersey talk. If you're anywhere near the ocean, you will see and feel that first under pulling towards the wave, and then it builds and comes upward and then crashes over and onto the shore. So we're in that movement of rising, beginning to rise up as it pulls and begins to rise up today. And so we're going to drop in a few minutes to this very, very, very powerful shifting energies and preparatory energies. And while it has wonderful potential for you as an individual, there is also the potential for emotions to be played with, kind of, brainwashing or emotion washing. Want to watch out for that. Neptune is a very strong, very powerful energy. It has a very slow orbit. I think it's something like 160 years. So when it lines up with our planet or a conjunction that affects our planet directly, it's very infrequent. So that's one of the reasons why it's very powerful. Neptune, of course, is the god of the oceans, of the seas, and that's aligning with Pisces, which is a very, again, very fluid, very malleable water sign of, representing emotions. And again, there is this, possibly because of, Jupiter's alignment, some other planets, things that are going on in our inner verse where we're all interconnected and adding to the mix. But we have the potential, each and every one of us, to be leaders. That doesn't mean you have to go out and start a protest, but it does mean that you stand clearly and strongly in what you want and what you choose, and allowing the emotional wave to move through you. You may find yourself very sensitive to different things, tearing up a lot. There may be an opportunity for you to actually have a very, very deep and profound cry, which is so very powerful in flushing through things. I would also encourage you, this week, frog has been very present, pointing over that direction because beautiful calendar of nature has frog on it. It's been appearing in several different sources, and frog is always about cleansing. Again, a water being has been present this week. And so I encourage you, if you want to take this opportunity over the weekend to do some cleansing. I always find the lemonade cleanse to be very powerful and effective, even if you do it for a day or two or even the weekend. And you can find that in Edgar Burroughs, not the author of Tarzan, but a very, very advanced healer who has passed many years ago. You can look it up on the internet, the lemonade cleanse. It's a combination of distilled water, organic lemons, and grade B maple syrup that's very, very dark, it hasn't been processed much, and cayenne pepper. And you can get the measurements, again, online, but it's a very healing and very supportive. Yes, you're going to experience hunger, but you just drink another glass of it. Drink another glass of it all throughout the day, along with a lot of water. It's a very helpful and powerful cleanse. This is springtime. It's a wonderful time to do a cleanse. And you may want to get rid of some toxicity even within your home. It was found in the mainstream news of the level of microplastics that have been found in our lungs. So be very, very aware of the materials and the chemicals that you're around. One of the most detrimental that I've found or encountered are those dryer sheets, among other things. The things with scents in them, SCENTS. They're unnatural. That's why all of my clients experience the essential oils of Young Living. We're talking about something very different. We're talking about something very pure in that case. We're talking about very powerful helpers in the plant medicines. So if you don't want to do something as drastic as the lemonade cleanse, maybe a lot of vegetables and fruits over the weekend, leading into Tuesday. But do try to eliminate the toxins in your home, whether it's materials, whether it's hair products, cleaning products, chemicals of all sorts. Yeah. So cleansing, preparing, allowing for emotional cleansing this weekend. Again, if you know there's something inside, there's been a buildup, you can feel something, watch a movie that will make you cry, that you know will make you cry, that you know will bring up emotions. Get a large piece of paper, some of those pads you can get at the dollar store or even art stores, and some big crayons, those big fat crayons, or even finger paints, because those allow us to tap into a very deep and younger level of us. So it could be very powerful. Don't plan on drawing anything, don't decide. Just allow yourself to bring forward an emotion, be it anger, be it hurt, be it fear, whatever is most prevalent for you, or even sorrow. When you see some of the things that are going on in the world, whether it's to the earth or to other people, what is it that comes forward? Yes, we put the little emoji of anger or the emoji of sad, but really tap in, not simply to what you're viewing or what's going on outside, but how that particular aspect of yourself is being provoked or being catalyzed. You know, yes, it hurts to see others being hurt, but how often do we hurt the earth, by having so much waste, creating so much waste, by wasting water, letting it run and run and run and run? It is not an inexhaustible source. How much and how easily do we just kill insects because they are less than, unimportant, insignificant, in our way, bothersome? Cut down trees that shed too much. There is no difference. If in fact we all are one, which we are, then you too are doing the same thing that you're seeing out in the world. It is each and every one of us that must change our inner world, our human nature. I know that's a lot, but we have a crucial moment coming up on Tuesday. And you have an opportunity. So yes, there is urgency in what I'm saying. Yes, there is, potential for the opposite. We can still go in the opposite direction. But your vote counts. Your choice counts. Your decision, your willingness to take responsibility, because it's not just, just in a democracy. It's not just, okay, I voted, I'm done. There has to be involvement on a daily basis. There has to be work to be aware of what is going on in your community, in your town, in your state, in your country, in the world. There has to be responsibility that you do make a difference, that you can affect what's going on out there. Certainly by changing what goes on in here. And along with water, along with the beautiful cosmic bodies of Neptune and Pisces and Jupiter and so much more in our cosmic world, our cosmos, that is helping us. We have many different animal teachers that are coming forth. One of the things that I am so passionate about, helping people learn to have this constant communication between and among everything around you, all the different resources from nature, your helpers, your guides will speak to you through any different means. Facebook itself. So I invite you now. This is a lot swimming around. There's a lot of movement, a lot of water, a lot of Potentials, a lot of possibilities, a lot of emotions. A lot of sadness, a lot of anger, a lot of sorrow, a lot of fear. But all of that is in this alchemical mixture, this alchemical container. Which allows for a spark or a fire of newness. And so don't push any of it away. I encourage you, you have the capacity, you have the power, you have the wherewithal, you have the soul, width and breadth and depth to be able to sit amidst all that is going on within you, around you, in our world, in these potentials. It is when we start pushing things out or closing things off, whether it's within us or outside, that the perpetuation of separation and duality continues. You have the strength, you have the power, you have the ability to experience what is here and what is within you without detriment, without the horrible ideas of what will occur. Those are generally a child's fears. As adults, you can feel this. You can experience to the full extent of the spectrum that is here on this planet, including those kingdoms and worlds and realms that are connected into this planet through different sacred spots on the planet and through your multi-existential self. Very prominent this week has been a particular magical kingdom. One that many are probably familiar with, that little nature sprites and fairies. And this flavor of magic with its lightness of being, with its exchange with nature and the magical. One of the Young Living essential oils that came very forward today and is going to be throughout the weekend is Melissa. And that represents the mystical, the magical, the miraculous. Watch for it. Watch for the magical. Feel into the mystical. Expect the miraculous. Beautiful description in one of my favorite series of movies, Men in Black. The character Griffin says, "A miracle is what seems impossible but happens anyway. So I invite you this weekend to write down what would be miraculous for you in your life and on this planet. And please bring those miracles, bring those wishes to the event on Monday evening. To name them, to share them, to put into the larger container of all those participating. Let yourself feel the transmissions right now of that miraculous energy, magical. We've seen so many times in different movies and books. Allow yourself to open up and feel, not vision, not see, not go up to your mind or third eye, but instead to actually physically, energetically experience the energies that are being transmitted in this particular container today. You are seated within this container in the exact right position for you to receive the optimum combination of energies and frequencies and particular tones. Your body is an instrument. Allow it to be played. Open your system by simply asking and allowing. Being willing to physically, energetically sensate. Not think about feeling, but actually feeling in your body. When you attune to yourself, your internal self, you feel the energetics, you experience the movement, the pulse, the rhythm. The woodpecker, as a matter of fact, this week being a very prominent helper. Allow yourself to perhaps experience a different rhythm than you're used to. Feel your body, feel inside your body. Not focusing with your mind or your mind's eye, but actually sensating. For once you experience something, once you really feel, you can no longer go back. You can no longer unknow what that is like. Ask and allow your body to help you. Ask and allow your energy field to help you. Ask and allow your emotional body to help you. Ask and allow your wider self, which is your soul self, wider perspective, wider experience. Ask and allow your guides, teachers, masters to help you feel the transmission of energies. For once you experience something, you can never be shaken from that knowing. It is a knowing that goes far beyond the brain. For it is a knowing deep within you. Oftentimes a remembering of a knowing from your soul level self. Out of your mind, out of your third eye, and down within you. For therein lies all the information, all the answers, all that you ever need. just continue to drop ever more deeply down inside, sensating, feeling. You need not track or follow or figure out anything. Simply allow. Simply sensate. Simply opening you to a deeper inner you. Where there is absolute knowing of the breadth and width and depth of you as an eternal being. Who has chosen purposefully, pointedly to be here now. At this crucial, critical, and exciting time. Feel deep down within you the power of your presencing your soul on this planet at this particular time. as this wave, this sacred wave, begins to build, coming to its peak on the 12th. The wave within you, the rhythm, the movement, or the pace is yours and yours alone. Allow that rhythm, that way that is yours and yours alone, to gently lead you from what was perhaps a less physical experience back to a more physical 3D experience. But with that sensation and inner to still be in and through the physical. You do not have to separate them. As a matter of fact, that is what this new way for mystics and masters and spiritual seekers, old souls, is about. You being able to be in both internally, externally, non-physical, physical, human, divine, all at the same time. As always, you are welcome to stay in this space, in this energy, knowing that you will be perfectly integrated whenever you so choose to come back. Or if you are feeling to do so now, I invite you to please join me on Monday evening, 7:30. We'll basically be just dropping in for about an hour, give or take, to the transmissions that are coming in for us at this time, this sacred wave, and your contribution, your presencing, what you bring to that mix is so powerful. And the combination of those blending together is a huge block vote for us going forward in this evolutionary new way. This is going to be a free event, so please join me. I will be doing this on Zoom and try to also link into Facebook. But if you'd like to participate, I really need you to register so I can get you the Zoom address. And that really plants you in the container between now and then and lets you continue to experience all that is here for you. So, as always, it is with the deepest of honor, gratitude, and love for your presence here on the planet. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.